Zero down mortgages. They can open the door for first-time home buyers, but there can be some risk involved. We weigh the pros and cons. Prefab homes are bigger and better than ever. We take a look at what's available on the modular market. And organizing your home office can be a daunting task, but Clean Sweep's Peter Walsh has some great tips to get your clutter under control. Next on Open House. Hello and welcome to Open House. I'm Susan Lesovich in today for Jerry Willis. We begin with zero down mortgages. Sounds like a dream for first-time home buyers, but no money down has its pitfalls. Namely, the loan will cost a lot more in the long run. Joining us now with more on this is Bob Moulton, president of Americana Mortgage Group. He's also taking all of your mortgage questions, so give us a call at 1-800-304-3638. Welcome, Bob. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Susan. Thank you for having me.
I am a new home buyer.
Congratulations.
Thought I knew everything about mortgages. Did not hear of zero mortgage down. It'd be so tempting. No money down. That's what it means, right?
No money down. It's a great mortgage for first-time home buyers, maybe young doctors, people fresh out of college, people who have not had the time to accumulate a down payment. The rates are higher. It's not for everyone. There are some risks associated with it, particularly if appraised values start to decrease, which is always something that people are talking about.
You mentioned youth and salary, and these are the types of things that I guess the lenders will be looking at. Youth because you don't have a credit history, but that you have the prospect or have a good income?
Yes, a young married couple, maybe out of college about 4 or 5 years, that have gotten good jobs, that have not had the time to build the down payment, they would be perfect for this loan. They might be fresh in their jobs.
And are we talking about any limitations in terms of the price of the home? I mean, for where you'd really be maxing out, or is it for more moderate prices? Where do you draw the line here?
Well, the median home price in the U.S. is $183,000. And these loans are generally geared towards the conforming loan limit, which is about $333,000. So they are, depending on where you're looking and where you're living, if you're in a metropolitan area such as New York, San Francisco, or Los Angeles, it's going to be difficult to find a home for $200,000 or $300,000. But if you're in maybe in the Midwest or in a non-urban area, you can find a home for about $300,000 or $330,000.
And we should say that your company, Americana Mortgage Group, does offer these zero down mortgages.
Yes, we do. There's two ways that we can get people into a home with a zero down mortgage. The first is a conventional one mortgage, which is a higher interest rate, which is about 0.75% higher, and the other is what's called a piggyback, an 80% first mortgage and a 20% second mortgage. This way they can avoid PMI.
These are, I think you were saying, about 5 years that they've been around. And what kind of popularity have they achieved over the last 5 years?
Well, a lot of people call and inquire about the zero down mortgages, but then when they look at the payment and then maybe they discuss this option with their family, there's frequently gift money available for mom and dad or an aunt or an uncle or something like that. So although we consult with a lot of potential home buyers on the 0% down mortgages, a lot of people are not comfortable with that high payment and with the fact that that real estate values can change over time.
Right, and we'll get to that, but one of the pitfalls is just simply missing one payment. It's bad for any kind of mortgage that you carry, but does it take on special difficulties if you miss one payment?
If you miss one payment, you're technically in foreclosure. So you need to go to budget counseling before you close on your mortgage to qualify for a 0% down payment. So the borrower really needs to understand what their commitment is to the lender.
That's scary. And if you're in foreclosure, what does that mean? That the bank can take your home away?
It usually takes time. It takes 6 to 12 months for a bank to actually do that. But even if you didn't have a 0% down payment and you miss your mortgage payment for 1 month, you're technically in foreclosure. So anyone taking any mortgage from any lender should try not to miss a payment.
That is a huge pitfall. Now, I'm on the opposite end. I put 20% down for my first home, and I'm paying it off early. I had a 15-year mortgage, got it great, refied in less than a year, and I'm paying down probably in 12 years just because I want that monkey off my back. One of the things that worked for me and for millions of new homeowners is the mortgage rates, but it's changing. We're going to higher interest rates, and that is a definite con, right?
Correct.
A problem for people who have the zero down.
Well, if they get themselves into a fixed-rate mortgage, they'll be protected over the 30-year period if they lock into a mortgage now, while rates are still relatively close to the 40-year low that they've been for the last 2 years. The Fed has raised rates over the last few months. However, we're not seeing it transcend into the mortgage rates. The mortgage rates still have been holding around 5.5% and 5.75%. However, if the Fed increases again next month, we should see higher mortgage rates probably by the end of the year and early into next year.
Yep. But doesn't it take forever to build equity into your home? And that's why I'm thinking, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, if you have a 0% down mortgage, it's very hard to build equity. It's going to be a combination of how quickly you pay your mortgage off and what happens to real estate values.
Right, and that's what you use, in other words, to establish your credit if you're doing other things. For instance, if you're buying a business or buying a car, those things, that will hurt you, right?
That will go into your debt-to-income ratio. And with the 0% down, they'll look at 40% of your income as being eligible to qualify for your principal and interest, which is your mortgage payment, your real estate taxes, your PMI, and your homeowner's insurance.
Okay, one other thing I wanted to ask you to get to quickly is that, you know, there's a big debate about whether this is a bubble in housing, and that is yet another problem for the zero down, right? Because if, in fact, we do have a recession, that's a problem where you have so much time yet with this house.
And that's the million-dollar question. Everyone's been wondering, when is this housing bubble going to burst? The real estate market's been the strongest segment of our country for the last 10 years. Back in the late 1980s and the early 1990s, we did have a setback of about 10% in real estate prices. Some people are calling for that setback to come again if the economy doesn't pick up as quickly as a lot of the government officials are hoping that it picks up.
Bob Moulton, president of Americana Mortgage Group. Great tips today on yet another type of mortgage available to homeowners, but it's not for everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for having me.
Plus, what causes a lender to back out? Take a look at mistakes on your end that could cause a lender to pull your loan. Next on Open House.
And later,